Pinpoint Weather on NBC5 News is brought to you by the Cow Creek Umpqua Tribe.
Hey, welcome back into Sunrise. We're going to start off with the lapse of Shasta this morning. They've got a lenticular cloud sitting just on the north side of the mountain there, and it is not moving. That is the next system that is approaching, and that's going to be bringing big changes as we're getting through the next 48 hours across our area. Bigger change is going to be the wind speeds ramping up here for today. A lot of that wind pushing up the mountain this morning, pushing that moisture up the mountain, and of course, that's what's bringing in this cloud. On the back end of that cloud, we have sinking air, and that's why it's kind of just stabilized right there. Now, for the valley, of course, we have a lot of fog out there this morning. Again, low visibility. If you're going to be getting on the roads, make sure you're giving yourself some extra time and drive slow out there. Leave some extra space between you and the vehicles in front of you. Fog chances will start to diminish through the morning. We're staying partly to mostly cloudy through much of the day, and we're going to see our wind speeds ramping up as we're getting into the afternoon, especially into the nighttime hours, topping off around 63 for that expected high this afternoon. Upper 50s to lower 60s across our area. Not a big change if you're going to be out and about here this afternoon. And the front moves in through Thursday, then we're dropping off a few degrees heading into the end of this week. A little bit of another drop in temperatures as we head into the start of next week, getting closer to that seasonal average for this time of year. So here's the next storm system developing out here in the west. We still have the ridge of high pressure kind of starting to edge its way a little bit further out to the east. Of course, that's what's kept us pretty quiet here for the last couple of days. And we already have some rain building in to our north. And in terms of rain, well, we're going to see this system starting to edge a little bit closer as we get into the nighttime hours. This is going to bring in that better potential of some showers for the coastline. Now, we're going to be split from this system. In fact, we're going to be kind of missing out from the precipitation. You see the rain kind of building further south, at least the heavier precipitation further south. It doesn't really cross over into the mountains, and we kind of get a little bit of a dry forecast here for southern Oregon. Still some shower potential, but it's just not going to be all that great. Some of the higher amounts expected from this actually going to be into parts of northern California, and we're clearing from this system pretty early through Friday morning. Friday could be a dry day for a lot of our area, and we look at Saturday, another dry day, then Sunday that next system moves in to bring in some additional rain, and again cooling us off a little bit more heading into the start of next week. So the highest amounts of precipitation expecting down into northern California, especially around the Mount Shasta City area and a little bit further south. Could see a couple of inches of precipitation, while the rest of us, well, we kind of miss out. We get a few hundredths of an inch, maybe up to a tenth to 2/10 for some along the coastline. It's the wind the rest of us are going to be dealing with, and again, things are quiet out there right now, but they will quickly ramp up into northern California through this afternoon. Still breezy winds increasing here for the valley, and it stays strong through the overnight hours and going through much of Thursday, especially Thursday afternoon. You see it kind of ramps up into our eastern counties. Again, this is where we could definitely see some of these wind gusts getting up into that 50 to 60 mile per hour range over the next 24 to 36 hours. When we look at the valley 7-day forecast, still could have some shower potential. Again, just not a whole lot in terms of amounts of precipitation. We'll cool off a little bit heading into Friday and Saturday, quieter conditions, and then that next chance of rain might stick around a little bit later into the start of next week with highs in the 50s, morning lows dropping into the low 40s. Climate basin still that chance of showers, but again, more of a wind event than rain event for much of our area. Stronger wind speeds down in our eastern counties and into northern California. Another chance of showers with some breezier winds into next week as well. Heaviest rain further south into northern California, some stronger winds as well. And temperatures will drop off into the 50s for this weekend. The coastline will see some rain potential with some higher winds, and then getting out from that before the next round of rain builds in later Sunday.